Hey guys, how are you today? Happy Thursday. Ken's Corner, Ken's kicking, whatever's going on. Just wanted to catch up with you guys. Hopefully you had an awesome Christmas. For some that don't celebrate Christmas, a holiday weekend. Welcome back, and glad you're here to listen to me ramble for about 10 minutes. But just wanted to kind of check in, make sure everyone's doing well. Kind of goal today is talk a little bit about Christmas. Obviously goals and, you know, some things I've been doing, you know, just kind of overall checking in. Of course, the sports stuff at the end with picks of the week and how I did. I think I didn't do so hot last week. I think I went 9-7. So, but just weather-wise, I'm sure most of people here in the U.S., if you're somewhere else, I don't know your weather quite as well as I do here in the U.S., but it's been pretty bitterly cold, even all the way down south. I think Florida's had some pretty cold days, 30s maybe. A friend of mine lives in Mississippi. There was snow around them. I think New Orleans got some snow, more lake effect kind of thing. But the good news is we had a white Christmas, and now we're going into this, I guess we'll call it spring like January. Temperatures are supposed to get up in the 60s actually this weekend, which is kind of crazy. So welcome to Michigan. Anyways, that's the catch up on the weather. Christmas was nice. Had all the kids in town, well, not in town, just Andrew in town, and kids over on several different occasions. My brothers actually came over Saturday. We did church, and then took my dad with us. Blake and Andrew couldn't make church with us. Blake had to work, and Andrew had some activities with his dad. But you know, Karli, Chase, myself, Candi, and my dad went to church, and then we came back here, and Karli had a commitment that she had to take care of, so she took off. And then we just kind of ate some food. It was like a potluck. My brothers bought some really good food. We had some good food. We chowed, watched a little football, and just kind of hung out. They were here a couple hours and then moved on. And then we had Christmas Day, which I'm sure you've probably already seen the video. I'm just giving you Ken's take on it. You know, open presents. Candy's mom, my dad came back over, and you know, just traditional Christmas. It's not the same as what it was when they were kids. I mean, it's I don't want to say the Christmas spirit isn't there, because the Christmas spirit's really in your heart. But it's so different. You know, my mom's gone, and Candy's dad's gone, and you know, kids are all grown up. You know, it's more exciting with the fun toys. Go back and watch some of the old OFN Christmas videos. We've still watched them on a regular basis, and we make the kids watch them with us too, because they were so fun back then. But Christmas was good. So now we roll into this this gap of between Christmas and New Year's where there's like no time. No one knows what day it is, what time it is. I know some people, obviously people are working and all that gets, it's just this whole crazy thing before New Year's. But I did put something together tonight. I got a couple buds coming over. We're gonna play some Texas Hold'em in the barn, eat some snacks. A couple guys I actually I do football with. I don't know if any of you guys know. Someone had commented in the last video about me coaching youth sports. I've done my share of coaching youth sports. I coached all the boys and all their sports, football for 10 years. I coached football. I coached baseball for probably close to 15 years. I think I did soccer. I never did wrestling. I did have a basketball team 2 years. Won a championship there. Won some championships in Little League football. And now my involvement is more, since the kids are gone, I've moved into a role of what's called assistant commissioner. I'm not the commissioner, but I'm one of, I think there's maybe 8-9 guys that are assistant commissioners, and we manage the fields on Sundays for youth football. We're in actually a league called the WJFL, Washington Junior Football League, which is the second oldest league in the country next to Pop Warner, which is kind of cool. So chalk that up as you know, being part of something very, very cool. I'm getting close to my 20 years involved with the organization. My role now, I go to meetings and help with input and, you know, driving the league, keeping things moving forward. And then I manage, like I said, a particular field on a Sunday, just make sure everything's in line, fields are set up, you know, people are in control. You know, I make sure the refs are there, you know, all that good stuff. So I do still participating, and that's my volunteer work back to the community that I've been given for quite some time. I know it bugs Candy that I'm gone on Sundays, but it is what it is. So yeah, some of those guys are coming over tonight. We're gonna play some poker. We did have a league banquet, and we said, hey, let's play some cards. I'm like, all right, I'll host it here between Christmas and New Year. Some other guys are coming as well that aren't part of the league, but that'll be fun. Got our health insurance in check. So, and I'm sure most of you guys know that the economy's not hopping like we all hope it would. So we start working on things of, you know, cutting budgets, free spending. And I know we worked on our subscriptions and, you know, kind of cutting back there, because we're just like everybody else. You know, we make money, we spend it, and, you know, you plan budgets and you do things effectively. So we started working on, you know, subscriptions of Hulu's and, you know, all that good stuff. One of the big costs, cutting expenditures, and I'll even give you some real numbers here just so you guys can kind of understand what a self-employed individual goes through. So our current insurance plan, I believe, and I may be off by a little bit, Candi will correct me, but I think we're paying about $1,280, maybe $1,300 a month for health insurance. Now that's just Candi, Karli, myself, and Blake, all relatively healthy. All we do is have checkups. Knock on wood, none of us have been hospitalized. Just random routine physicals, maybe a sniffle here or there, or, you know, hit whatever. And it's costing us, I think, around $1,300 a month. We also have a deductible, I think is $7,200 per person deductible. So that's a lot of money. And we bought it direct from our healthcare provider. And I finally just got to the point, this just doesn't make sense. What can we do to save money here? So I did get a hold of one of my buddies who's an agent, and we decided to go into the health market, which is it's not Obamacare, it's the health markets. Basically, I guess it kind of is Obamacare, or what do they call that? The Affordable Care Act, whatever you want to call it, where you can go into the healthcare market and actually buy insurance at a reduced price. So it's subsidized. What that means is, and the crazy thing is, I'm still with my original carrier, but it's subsidized by the government based on annual income. So I was able to take my payments. I'm down to about roughly $800 a month. Same still coverage as all that, but I'm saving, you know, quite a bit of money. What that does is a lot of it goes off of your income, et cetera, and then you balance it out at the end of the year. But it's an immediate savings of, you know, health insurance that might help us out. So we took care of that. Finally got that done. It was a couple weeks, a little bit of headaches here and there, but we got that done. I did want to talk a little bit about goals of 2022 from the last video. I said I hadn't really accomplished much in 2021, but, you know, other than the business. So I said I was going to make some goals. And I know Candi and I are yo-yoers, weight loss. I'm kind of bummed. We had Jake, our weight trainer. I'd lost 60 pounds. We were humming, and then we got COVID, and still have not been able to get back in that groove. And I'm not going to sit here and make promises. I know we have the OFN weight loss group on Facebook. If you're not a member and you want to be part of it, that'll probably stir back up here again. But I need to lose some weight. I feel like shit. So we have all that equipment. There's no excuses. What a better time to start, just like everybody else, at the beginning of the year. Plus, we have a vacation coming up, so I got to put my Speedo on. No, I don't wear Speedos. Put the Speedo on and get ready for the beach here in just a short while. Candi, it was Candi's idea. Let's go somewhere. You know, we start getting the seasonal depression because gray skies, and that's the killer for me, the gray skies. But I need something to look forward to, so we got a little trip planned for just the two of us. We're gonna get out of Dodge and get some sunshine, which is good. Also, too, we talked a little bit about wheels in motion. So along with this cost cutting, and this is kind of a bummer. It makes me sad, but at the same token, it just makes sense. We have this beautiful house. Financially, we're fine with it, but it's still it can eat you alive. You're just paying for heat that you don't need, property taxes that you don't need, and it's just really just the three of us here. So do I need all of this stuff? And the thing is then you start thinking, well, I'm a failure. No, you're not a failure. It's called, I guess, moving back into your means. I mean, being almost 50, almost an empty nester, still trying to figure things out. Do I need all this? I'd be so bummed to move, but I think it's probably going to be the right decision, is to maybe downsize. We talked to the kids, because I mean that's the big grip holder right here. Is Candi has a strong connection with our children, and the kids mean everything to her, and the fact that even Andrew's 2 hours away is difficult for her. So can we get 4 kids to move with us or wherever we move? Probably not. So we're coming up with the options of sell this place, go pay cash for another smaller house in the area, make that kind of our summer home, and then maybe we get a place down south, we become snowbirds. I know at 50 it doesn't sound right, but we're able to do these things because of our line of work, the businesses that we have. I can pretty much go anywhere I want. We're fortunate enough to be able to make these kind of decisions, but one, scary. I'm scared to death. Two, how do we get rid of all this stuff? It's going to be a lot of work getting rid of tons of stuff that we wouldn't take with us. Although if we got 2 places, you might be able to balance it out. But still, who wants to load a truck up of stuff and take it to Georgia, North Carolina, Tennessee, wherever we might end up? I also told Candi, I'm like, what we should do is, you know, kind of narrow down some places where we want to go and rent for a year, sign a lease agreement for a year. And she's like, well, that's such a waste of money. And I really tried to explain it. And I don't think she's 100% on board, but try to explain it to her to understand that, yeah, you're wasting a year, but what's even bigger waste is if you go and buy a place somewhere and you're not happy there and you can't figure that out in 2 months. 6 months a little better. A year is really going to give you a good idea of, man, I'd really like to hear we made the right decision. So if you rent, you take the bare minimum with you in a place, maybe store some stuff. You can figure out kind of where you want to go. I think we should make the right decision rather than jump at something, be stuck with it, you know, closing costs, you know, all that crazy stuff. So these are a lot of the ducks we're trying to get in a row right now. It's going to probably take a good 3 to 6 months to work on a plan. Are we doing this? I'd say maybe 80%. Yes. Do I want to do it? Probably 30, 40%. I don't know. It's scary. It's a big change. It needs to happen. But who knows? So hopefully you're along with the ride on that. Maybe I gave too much information. Maybe I didn't want you guys to know all that. But so that's kind of the things that are going on with us. I'm going to roll into some picks here. Anyways, let's talk some NFL football. 9-7 last week. Big stories on the week, really, where I failed miserably were, I think it was New England, Cincinnati. I should have taken the Bengals. Anyways, 9-7, not very good. What was I the first week? I think about the same. No, I was 10-6, so I'm getting worse. This week we're going to nail it. So you can count on this one. We're going to nail it. Anyways, something to talk about. Dolphins lost to the Packers. They just looked awful. 2 through 3 picks in the game. I don't know what to say about Miami. It's so frustrating. It's like you went from, you're on fire starting the season, then Tua got the concussion. I don't know if any of you guys knew about the concussion that he got in, I think it was week 4 against the Bengals, where he was literally laying in the field, frozen. It was really scary, really sad. Which brings me to my point of a movie in 2015. I think it was called, well, actually, I think it was called Concussion. It had Will Smith in it. He was a doctor by the name of, what was his name? Bennett Amalu or something like that. He was a doctor investigating concussions in the NFL, and lots of Steelers players were, you know, committing suicide because they had this brain trauma basically, and they couldn't, you know, focus, think. Well, I think we're to that point right now. I mean, the NFL's changed protocol based on this instance in this game of how they handled concussions. Tua supposedly hit the ground and against Green Bay, but showed no signs. Acted normal, the whole 9 yards, but now he's in concussion protocol and out this week. So that would make 3 concussions, because the week prior to Cincinnati got one as well. So that'd be 3 concussions. I mean, I think it's time for Tua to hang up the cleats and protect his life. I mean, that's just, it's brain trauma. Your brain is bleeding. It floats around in space. It's just, it's time. I mean, football's a dangerous sport anyway, so it's probably not worth it for him to continue to play. Am I sad? Yes and no. I think this whole brain thing's really regressed his progress, and I think it's time for Miami to move on and you know, let him heal and you know, live a normal life. So that would be my input on the concussion thing. So that brings me to my picks this week. So we got Cowboys and Titans. Cowboys are on the road. They've actually gotten hot. They've dropped games where you thought they were going to win, but it is a night game, so who knows? Derrick Henry could go off, but that Cowboys defense is pretty good. I have Pollard as one of my running backs. I might have to bench him this week. I am in the fantasy Super Bowl. I beat Blake last week, and now I'm going up against my excavator, the Gravediggers, in the championship this week. So my team, actually, I may be starting my original team drafted for the first time, well, since week 1, basically, because of injuries, all that good stuff. So pretty exciting. First championship I've been in many years. I haven't won, I think, since like 2009, maybe 9, 10. I don't know. No, 2013 is the last time I won, and we've had the league since I think 2000. So it's been around a while. I'm excited. I'm in. Hopefully I win. I beat Blake. He was bummed. Tua is the one that killed him last week because he had Tua, and he didn't put up very good stats. So anyways, back to the games. Dallas to win, Arizona at Atlanta, boring snoozer game. Atlanta wins. I picked a lot of home dogs this week. A lot of home dogs. Chicago at Detroit. Detroit needs to win in order to make the playoffs. I think they win their next 2 and they make it. KC at home against Denver. They win this game. I think they lock up maybe the 1 seed. I'm not sure. We'll see what happens there. Miami and New England. I'm taking the Patriots over my Dolphins because I don't know if Teddy can do the job. New England's hungry to get in the playoffs. I know they're a game behind Miami. I just don't think the Dolphins are there. This isn't the year. It was the year, but it's not the year anymore. So I'm taking, for our purposes of winning, I'm taking the Pats. Giants, Colts. Colts are just dumpster fire there. Taking the Giants. Eagles, New Orleans. Again, the Eagles are hot. I'm not sure if Jalen Hurts is playing yet this week. Even if not, Minshew. Actually, I think Minshew's playing. So yeah, Minshew it is. The stash. Let's go Tom Brady and the Bucks over Carolina. Carolina's trying to fight to get in, but I think Tom Brady, this is his hot time of the year when he becomes Mr. Goat, Mr. Goat of the Goats. Anyways, Steelers at Ravens. I'm taking the Ravens on that one. Jacksonville at Houston. Jacksonville's kind of been crazy, but Houston, I think, has won their last 2. So we're going to take the home dogs. We're going to go with the Texans. 49ers at Vegas. 49ers, hottest team in the NFC right now. I think they're a little hotter than the Eagles. Their defense is just amazing. Amazing defense. So we're going to take the 49ers. Jets at Seahawks. Jets are still fighting to get in. We're going to take the Jets. Geno's not going to win this one, unfortunately. So Pack Attack playing Minnesota. Minnesota's hot. I think they clinched the division already. Green Bay fighting to get in. Aaron Rodgers does something special. I know it's been a bad year, but they're still fighting, and he seems to kick it up when it matters too. So we're taking Aaron Rodgers in the Green Bay Packers. Chargers, Rams. I struggled with this one. I so want to take the Rams. I picked up Cam Akers, who I originally drafted. He's been terrible. Had a huge game last week. If Pollard doesn't go Thursday, I have to start Akers. But the Chargers' run defense is really bad. But you got Herbert at home, night game. Mike Williams. I think you got to go with Mike Williams and Keenan Allen. Let's take the Chargers. And then the Monday night decides it all. Who's going to be the best? You got Buffalo, Cincinnati. Most of the experts are taking the Bills. I'm taking the Bengals at home. Night game. Joe Burrow, Offensive Player of the Year. Jamar Chase, 150 yards receiving. That's just my prediction. He's on my fantasy team too. So that's what I'm going to pick. Anyways, good to see you guys. Hopefully these were good topics. We're going to do probably next week. It'll be right after New Year's. We'll do maybe a Q&A. Maybe Candi will post on Instagram some questions that or topics you'd like me to discuss, and I will do so. So we'll do a question and answer, or topics, or I'm not sure what. I'll let her figure it out. I'm just the talker here, so. But be well, guys. Take care of each other. Smile. I know it's tough times. We'll get through it, and have a fantastic Thursday evening. And hopefully Tony Pollard has a good day.